Hey, everybody. Happy Friday Eve. We are getting so close. How are ya? Good to see ya. Missed you last week. Hi, Connie from Hanford, California. I hope that you're staying safe in California. I'm not sure how close or far away you are from all those scary fires. Um, Hi, Tessa. I am doing much better. I think you can maybe still hear the sickness a little bit, but man, I got knocked out like that. We're on the second week. So that's been a little brutal, but I am definitely doing much, much better. I'm feeling much more myself. Hey, Brenda. Oh, hi, Angela. I'm in Syracuse, New York area. How much snow do you have? Hey, Arlie. Hi, Twyla. Oh, Connie's working on a quilt guild I belongs to block of the month. Oh, it's a sewing machine. Cute. I made one, but it didn't like my fabrics after also making a second one. I know that feeling. Yeah, good, Tessa. I'm feeling much better. I'm definitely feeling more myself, that is for sure. Hi, Pat from Bear, Delaware. I'll be hearing you lurking as I'm watching on TV. Um, oh, and Pat is sewing along with Sean and I on our 15-minute a day challenge. That is so awesome. Thank you for lurking and watching me on your TV. I'm on the big screen. I made it, Dad. I made it, Mom. I'm on TV. Ooh, and Susan's coming from the future Friday afternoon. Well, happy Friday to you. Oh, you're out there living the dream on a Friday. Um, okay, good. I'm glad that you're far away from the fires. Hopefully they get that under control now. That is so scary. How long? It's Linda, right? Oh my gosh, I'm the worst. How long did it take you to test negative for COVID? I haven't tested again to see if I'm negative yet. I thought for science I should do it, but then I never did. I tested positive the Saturday after Christmas. Hi, Krista. Yes, I am feeling better. Thank you. Um, just a dusting, Angela. Buffalo's supposed to be having all that snow. What's it doing over here? My husband just got home and I had texted him because I didn't leave the house today. And I'm like, how much snow is out there? And so he said in total, we have like 20 inches. I just had to double check because I have the worst memory. He said we have 20 inches of snow, which isn't terrible, but like compared to like the winters I had when I was a kid. But, I wish it would get a little bit warmer. Um, so that like the kids can go outside and play, but it's like in the tens. It's so cold. Hi, Memes Sewing Station from Michigan. Oh, I'm doing the 15-minute challenge. I love to see that. Oh, you waited 5 days. I probably would be in the clear now. I think mine morphed into like a sinus infection. Thankfully, my doctor was great and called me an antibiotic, and I didn't have to actually go in. And I'm on my third day now, and I like feel like a new woman. It's amazing. Um, Hi, Katie Crafts. Krista says we're in the middle of a snowstorm right now in Arkansas. How much snow do you get in a snowstorm in Arkansas? Because I would imagine that even like 1 to 2 inches of snow in Arkansas would be rough, let alone anything more than that. Hi, Carrie. Welcome in. Happy Friday Eve. Or for some of us on the other side of the world, it's already there Friday. In the future, I'm working on a little bit of paper piecing today because even though I've been doing my 15 minutes, I didn't get all the cutting done for the quilt that I wanted to start sewing tonight. And I cannot do foundation paper piecing in this environment. It would not go out well. 5 to 8 inches is no joke in Arkansas, though, right? Like, I mean, I don't know geography well, but I'm guessing that's abnormal, right? Maybe if there's some higher elevations in Arkansas that you might be more used to that, but that seems like a lot for somewhere that wouldn't have the infrastructure, plow trucks, et cetera, to deal with snow. We actually had a plow truck hit a pole outside of our house yesterday, and so the road was closed. Apparently, he smacked it. My husband works and knows people. Apparently, he hit the pole and then somehow ended up like falling on the truck and then pulling down a pole behind him. Thankfully, he was fine. Everybody's fine. Nobody got hurt. But our road was closed. So, and we live in a rural area, and so they actually called the state troopers in to guard the intersection and had us wait for the bus for my kids for school with the state troopers. My kids thought that was like just the coolest thing ever that they got to be with a police car. I took their picture and I said, I never want to take your picture in a police car again. Only today. This is the only time. So I didn't even get to chat with you guys last week because I was sleeping. Did you guys have a good New Year's, good Christmas? Did we enjoy ourselves? Anybody get any good quilting gifts? I'm trying to think. My husband bought me like a camcorder, like literally a camcorder that you would think of to try to take videos for my YouTube channel. So that's been kind of fun. I've been trying to figure out how to do time lapses on that. And I did actually use some of the footage from the new camcorder he got me in my last video. I'm also doing the 15-minute or more a day challenge. I cut up a bunch of scraps and I'm making potato chip blocks. They go fast. I'll have a quilt top in no time. I am not familiar with the term potato chip block. I don't know what that is. It sounds lovely, though. Arlie says, I've managed 6 of the 9 days of the challenge. That's awesome. Several of those were several hours, not just 15 minutes. Okay, so it averages out. I'm a natural lull between big projects, so being chill with yeah, for sure. There's, like you go through those times too where it's like it's tough to get going, but 6 of 9, you're averaging out over the 15 minutes. I'm not doing the 15-minute a day challenge because I do 15 minutes all through the day. Living the dream out there. Ooh, a stand mixer. That's fun. I have a KitchenAid, but do you know that I just saw on good old TikTok that I talk with my hands, so maybe English paper piecing isn't the greatest thing for a live. That's okay. I did see on TikTok that people are taking their stand mixers and putting ice cream and stuff and making like their own at-home blizzards or flurries. We call them flurries here, but I want to do that. I have had a stand mixer forever, and I have never thought to make my own flurry. What do you guys call those? Do you call them blizzards, flurries? Oh, that's good. Let the snow go. Hi, Laura. How are ya? Oh, yes, Brenda. Well, Brenda, you've almost made it through the whole week. Good for you. Went back to work after 12 days off this past Monday. I'm sure some of you are in the same boat. Yeah, it's a rough adjustment. I was off for the 2 weeks with the kids. Well, I was supposed to be working. I couldn't end up working that much because I was sick. And then the kids had like 2-hour delays and days off school because of all the snow. And I'm like, we need to get back to routine. Thank you, Laura. They are working well. Yes. So we didn't really have Dairy Queen around here until like recently. So we always call them flurries, but I don't know if that's a common phrase or not. I don't know. Susan got a new dog on the first. He's very timid and scared of my sewing machine, so catching up on my hand sewing for a bit. What kind of dog? How big of a dog? How old of a dog? Give me all the dog details. Hi, Chloe. Happy New Year. How was Christmas? How was New Year's? I got an 8.5 by 24-inch Quilter Select ruler for Christmas. Ooh, 24 inches. That's a good size. That's a really nice size ruler. I like that. Are you liking it? Yeah, that seems like a really nice size. Just trying to think of how long my longest ruler is. I think it's 24 inches. That I just got actually, and that I haven't not used it yet. But that's going to be a really nice size because that should cover, right? Yes, 24 inches should cover you cutting off a bolt, which would be super nice. Super, super nice. Hi, Denise. Welcome. Happy Friday Eve. 6-year-old ex-racing greyhound called Nixon, who will make friends with my sewing machine eventually. I have no doubt that Nixon can get this together for you. Oh, that is so sweet. So those dogs, the greyhounds, they're not, I mean, they look kind of tall. I don't know if I've seen a greyhound, but they're not very large dogs, right? They're pretty lean. Okay, I thought my new one was 24. Thanks, Brenda. She was there when I unboxed it yesterday. Yeah, that was my problem is that I actually I felt like a real quilter this year. I bought one bolt of black fabric. But then I was like, crap, all my rulers are 12 inches long. This is a bummer. Angela's living the retired dream over there, sewing every day. Do you only sew quilts, or do you like branch out at all? I feel like this might be my year of branching out into more things than just quilts. I like the quilt vibe though, but I definitely see like quilted sweatshirts. They're probably just starting with applique, but man, I'm kind of getting the bug with bags and stuff like that. I can see myself branching out. Tessa wants one of those too. Yeah, I feel like, especially if you're buying anything with a bolt, you definitely like that 24 inch is a good size. Chloe says, New Year's was good, still getting back on schedule. Yeah, you've got the little ones too. That is rough. And then, yeah, with my kids, like they had a full day of school, then like a 2-hour delay, and then a day off school and all this. And they're already so exhausted that, man, bedtime was rough tonight. And my husband got home late because he works for the snow. And so I was like, oh my gosh, you kids need to get in bed. You're tired. I'm tired. I want to go live on YouTube. That'll happen, Chloe. That'll happen. Um, that will happen. Are you very busy? Because you work at a pharmacy, right? Hopefully it's not too busy for you right now. Or maybe it's always busy. It's probably always busy for you. It's probably always a busy time. I am making quilted coats this year and stuffed animals for the grandbabies. Ooh, that's so cute. Okay, maybe you all can help me with this. I have a memory from when I was a kid. I don't know if my mom made them. I'll have to ask her. I could always ask my mom. Why didn't I ask her? But I'm going to ask you, and then I'll ask my mom later. I remember having like a stuffed bunny, but I feel like they were homemade, and I feel like everybody had them with like these long little ears, and it was kind of like a floppy bunny. Does anybody remember like floppy bunnies from the 80s and the 90s? I kind of want to make one of those. I tried to look on Etsy for a pattern, like a vintage rabbit pattern, but nothing. Maybe looking at Etsy wasn't my best option, but I had this little like it wasn't like cuddly fabric. It was just made out of like cotton, or what I perceive to be cotton now with my bad memory. But I loved that little bunny, and I just think it would be so fun to make one for my daughter. Oh, they're tall. His head is at my hips. 32. Does that mean kilograms? Oh God, she's a silly American. 60-ish pounds. That's a decent size if that's 60-ish pounds. Angela says, I do different things. I was a home ec teacher. I've been alter for family and friends. Oh, I have never tried to like hem pants, and I have pants, my own. Tasha has pants for Tasha that need to be hemmed, and I have not dabbled. I should dabble. Chloe says it's always busy. I feel you. Oh, Laura, thanks for joining my Facebook group. Cool. Yeah, just it's been nice on there. Like I think we're up to like about 50 people. It's very fun. I love it. And we're right now posting if we're sewing every day or what we're working on. It's been really fun. Oh, Rita, thank you. I am really, really enjoying making videos. I know I say this all the time, but I just really love talking about quilting. And it's just so nice that I have found people that like listening to me talk about quilting. And I'm really like having fun learning how to use the software to edit and like zoom in and transitions and stuff. I don't know. Until I really edited videos, I'm not sure if I like paid attention to that in other people's videos. But like, just look, if I'm like putting text on the screen or something, like that takes a lot of brain power and it's really fun. I love doing it. Okay, Carrie remembers these bunnies. Okay. Hi, Teresa. Hello, happy Friday Eve. 71 pounds. That is a much larger dog than I was thinking. They don't look that big when I see them, like, on television. Not that I've really seen them in television all that often, but, I feel like I've seen them in my history. Ooh, I'll have to check that out. Can you send me that, on Facebook, Brenda? Because I can't click it in this thing that I'm in right now. Thanks, Chloe. I wasn't sure if and I cannot remember their name right now. But there is also somebody who comments on every one of my daily videos and gives me a thumbs up. And I was like, I didn't know if anyone cared or would care to watch those time lapses. I just do them, I'm not doing one today because I'm on live, but like when I'm sewing, and it's just so encouraging that people seem to like them. Rachel! Oh my gosh, Rachel's my old coworker. Thank you. I miss seeing you. Ugh, why can't we just learn to teleport and be independently wealthy so we all just have infinite amounts of time to visit with our friends? Hi, Sean. Hey, how's it going? Rita, I have been quilting for over 50 years. They made those bunnies and monkeys. Oh, I've never seen one of the monkeys, but I can't wait to check that link that Brenda just sent me to see if it's the bunny I have in mind. Lots of hellos. I really do like watching videos when I'm in my sewing room of other people sewing. Um, I love it. It's like someone's keeping you company. I mean, I do like FaceTiming with my quilty friends too, when I get the chance, but if, we're on different schedules or whatever, I absolutely love having videos on. Sean says, I like the idea of teleporting, sitting in an aluminum can with wings for 30 hours to go home. Yes, that is a long flight. How often do you make that flight, Sean? Do you have a lot of family left back in Australia? Carrie had the monkey. Now I might have to look up the monkey. My son might love the monkey. I have no visual memory of the monkey. I just remember the rabbit. I feel like it had like, yeah, these just long skinny ears. And I just remember like a pale blue and a pale pink. But of course, like that could just be the choice if like my mom made it, or I don't know if they sold them or what it was. My mom did sew. Um, she made a lot of clothes for me when I was a kid. I guess I look back at pictures and you can definitely tell they're homemade. Me and my sister in matching like 80s and 90s clothes. I should try to find some of those pictures and I could post them. And then she did make a lot of her own scrubs for a long time. Hey, Erin. Thank you. Yes, me too. How are you feeling today? Oh, Sean goes back on average every 5 years. Last trip was 2017, so overdue. Does your family ever come to see you? Can anyone whip up the technology to get Arlie some light blue fabric? She's in need. I wish. Oh, the sock monkeys. Yes. I think I do remember that now that you say it that way. With like the bright, like the big eyes. No, Aaron's still feeling eh. I feel like everybody's got something. Everybody's sick right now. Ooh, Debbie, first time joining you live. Enjoy your shorts and your videos. Thank you so much. It's just so nice to hear that because for a while, when you start a YouTube channel, you make videos. I think my first YouTube video that I made took me like a very long time, and then I got like 12 views. So it's nice when you like spend hours on something and people finally start seeing it. Oh no, we got a spammer. Help. Why do they do this? Did we get them all? Brenda, get your fingers ready. Oh, they're so weird. And they have to be subscribed for 5 minutes. So he subscribed and then waited 5 minutes to be a weirdo. Oh man. Um Denise says simplicity patterns, craft sections. I was thinking that it was probably a simplicity pattern. Um and I think what I was searching on Etsy for like a vintage bunny pattern, and I'm pretty sure some of the simplicity ones popped up. Yep, this is not their first trip here. I have an unused pattern of the monkeys. That was my mom. Chloe, can you take a picture of it if you ever, whenever you find it? I would just love to see what it looks like. The pattern. 80s homemade clothes have nothing on 70s homemade clothes. Hideous. Hide those photos. The one thing I think I missed out on, and maybe like I'll still bring it back because maybe I just will turn into like I'm getting quirkier and quirkier, which I love that for me. Is like I would love to have like those wide pants and then like you cut them and like put some like patchwork in there. Like how cool would that be? You know what? I think that I mean, I don't like that they put that in the chat because I don't ever want any of you in the chat to see that and like, it's inappropriate. But the fact that somebody takes that much time out of their day and like this is their hobby, like good for them. And you know what is so funny about this thing is I changed it just today. I went, "Oh, I haven't had a problem with any of these spammers. Um I'm going to change it so they have to be subscribed for 5 minutes instead of 20." And then of course today's the first time we have an issue again. Gary's burned her photos from the 70s and 80s. Yeah, no pressure or anything, Chloe. It's just interesting to me. Oh wow, Rita has a pattern. If you ever have a picture of that and are in the Facebook group, um, that would be great. Yeah, Sean, get sewing, or you're gonna be mailing me a fat quarter. So funny, Sean and I will check in on Instagram. Do I get a fat quarter today? But both of us are staying strong. No fat quarters have been exchanged. Yeah, my mom definitely. I really want to find some of those goofy pictures. Um, of those, like I have one vision in my head of like these orange dresses with like lace on them. Awful. Awful. I wish we had them still. I don't think my parents split up and then I'm not sure like where all the stuff went or maybe they didn't even hold on to it to begin with. Yeah, it's fascinating to me. Um, I mean, don't encourage him. I'll take some fat quarters. No. I want Sean and I both to end this month with no fabric exchanged. Arlie, I make the rules and I feel that that's fair. Chatting about quilting counts. Sean he is much more like he's like, no, I'm sewing for 15 minutes a day. Like he's really good because he was saying that he was like unwinding yarn. And he's like, can that count as my 15 minutes of crafting? I'm like, yep, that works for me. He's like, no, I'm gonna sew. He's so good about it. Carrie, thank you so much for joining. And yeah, I hope to see you soon. Yeah, Sean's going like he is at his sewing machine 15 minutes a day. He's not playing around. Oh, Laura says I made most of my kids' clothes when they were little. The fabric was less than buying clothes, and that was in the 90s. Yeah. I wonder, do you like Laura, when you made those clothes, where did you get your fabric from? Was it Joann's? I wonder where my mom shopped for fabric back then. I Denise says, Mom and I both made clothes during the late 60s and into the 70s, both during 2 years of home ec and 9 years of 3H. I had two hip hugger skirts that I loved. That sounds so cool. Do you know where did you get 4H? And when I said 3H, I was like, that doesn't seem right. 4H definitely seems right. Um, Where did you get your fabric? Where did you guys buy your fabric back then? Like, was Joann's a thing? Was Ames selling fabric? I don't remember Ames having fabric. Come on, Sean. Where are those dresses from your childhood? Yep, that's how I do it, Chloe. Sean, he likes a needle through thread. The Amish ladies shop in quilt fabric stores. I remember seeing them in a few of the stores when I was there. Okay, I almost said, did JCPenney have fabric? Because I kind of, yeah, we had Ames, we had Hills, but I don't know if I remember seeing fabric. But I definitely don't remember my mom taking me to a fabric store. I'll have to ask her too. All these interesting questions. It's so funny to think how much our worlds have opened up since then. Right? Like you would be at the mercy of whoever was buying fabric for that store, and now we can find whatever we want as easy as we want. Oh, thank you, Rita. Thank you. There was a Benjamin Franklin and a Sally's fabric store in Arizona. They both went out of business. This guy. Oh, from the dime store and department stores. And so that would be like Macy, would it be Macy's or Sears or Sears? Would Sears have had fabric? Oh, Krista says, how many of you had ponchos growing up? That was another item from my mom crocheted for us. Huh. I had like a raincoat poncho. But now all of a sudden I have I feel like you're bringing something back, like a striped red, white, orange, really rough feeling fabric. I think I had a poncho. Yeah. I don't know if my mom made it or just bought it. Christening gown. Oh, yeah. So there might be a picture somewhere. Local owned fabric store and Hancock fabric. Oh, I have heard of Hancock fabric. Although I don't think I ever visit them. House of Fabric. Interesting. In Colorado, I used to buy fabric at a store called TG&Y. And JCPenney, we had one fabric store in town. I loved Ben Franklin, Laura. So Ben Franklin's was a store? Named after the man himself? They had a House of Fabrics, Cloth World, Woolworths, and Penny, and Stretch and Sew. Huh. Oh my gosh. I think in Australia you went to Haberdashery or Spotlight. Aussie version of Joann's. Well, Susan never got a poncho. You have ponchos now, Brenda? Oh, look at that. Is that where did you go back in Michigan, Rach? When I learned to sew in the 7th grade in the 70s, I got fabric at TG&Y. I never heard of this TG&Y. And then I sewed for my kids in the 90s. I got fabric at Joann's, which used to be Cloth World. Interesting. JCPenney's also did pictures. The photographer would come certain times of the year. I have pictures from when I was about 2, 3 year olds, and I had a small baby doll in the picture. So I 1000% got pictures done at JCPenney's, and I'm pretty sure, yeah, JCPenney's, definitely. Like they always had him down that like hallway. And when my son was born, I actually got his newborn photos done at JCPenney's. How funny. And then when my daughter was born, it was in peak COVID. So I did them actually in this room. They did not come out as nice as his did, but I tried. Sean only bought one thing of fabric from Hancock before they closed. It was the pink fabric made the dress. Oh, lucky fabric. Oh, no kidding. Back in the 80s, some regional supermarkets had fabric and notions in Australia. That's pretty neat. I really am gonna ask my mom where she got her fabric. I'm so curious because we lived in a very small town. I mean, it's still a small town. You were definitely driving somewhere to get fabric. Hmm, so fascinating. I know, and now I worry with, like, Joann's going out of business. Like, well, I'm not Joann's is not going out of business, but some of them are closing, and I think they filed for bankruptcy, which can be a good thing in business if you're restructuring and stuff. But, I'm like, "Oh my gosh," and, like, our Walmart, I think, is getting rid of all of their fabric. So it's really like, wouldn't it be sad if you could only ever just buy fabric online? Rach says, "Yes, in Michigan, Ben Franklin was our craft store, and a local place in the next town over had craft stuff. Joann's was an hour away." Yeah, Joann's was an hour. It was a haul for us. Still kind of is for me. Ponchos are coming back in style. Maureen from Dixie Chicks Dixie Quilts made her adult son a poncho from a quilt upon his request. Ooh, I'll have to check for that. That is so cool. I know that repurposing quilts can be a controversial topic, but I think if quilts are damaged and otherwise would end up maybe not even just damaged, but if they would otherwise end up in a landfill, I'm all for it. Oh, good. I hadn't been following it, but I mean, Joann's is still a ways away from me, and I do have a local quilt store, but they don't carry solids really, or the solids they carry I don't really love. Maybe I'm getting snobby. So it's like I just ugh, it's so hard. I would just love to be able to run somewhere and buy some fabric. All the Canadian Walmarts no longer have fabric. Yeah, Connie, that's what ours is moving towards that. It still has some fabric that you can get cut, but it's smaller, and then they have a ton of pre-cuts between 1 and 3 yards as well. And they have, like, fat quarter bundles and jelly rolls and stuff like that. I have ponchos from Roots. I've never heard of that. I agree with this, Andy. Like, someone already discarded it. It's now free to get a new life. Because, honestly, I have quilts all around me, and if in 40 years somebody found this quilt behind me and is like, "Oh my god, that would make a great poncho," love that. In 10 years, if my daughter's like, "Can we cut that up and make it a poncho?" Yes, I love that. It was a blanket quilt from a thrift store. That's cool. Yeah, I think there is. I have to ask one of my quilting friends, or I just need to drive out there. I think we've talked about this. There's a Mennonite quilt shop, maybe within like half an hour of me, and I think they sell a bunch of Kona solids. So, oh, Connie's got a Hobby Lobby like 5 minutes from my house. I don't have a Hobby Lobby nearby. Yeah, pre-cuts. Wouldn't it? Stick your head right through the middle of that? That would be a cute poncho. Maybe that one will turn into a poncho before it turns into a quilt. We'll have to see. It would fit my daughter, like, really well. She's 4, almost 5. Oh my gosh, she's almost 5. Um, I also, like, wanna make it a point to, like, leave my house more often. I think I'm gonna try to stop buying things online. I mean, I'm not just talking about quilting things because sometimes I'm gonna have to buy quilting things online, but just general things that I need, and I wanna start going to thrift stores more or just, like, I don't know. I just I can't I gotta get out of the house, and I cannot just keep feeding Amazon money, even though it's convenient. I totally agree. Sean says, "My bank account is thankful that Hobby Lobby is far away." Kona solids can be tough, yeah. Simplicity pattern 2240. You know me, gonna put it in my phone. Simplicity pattern 2240. Cool, I will check that one out. If you guys weren't here earlier, I was trying to find a vintage rabbit pattern that I have this memory of. And my dad dumped off a bunch of stuff here. I don't remember seeing one of those bunnies. My mom has got to remember that though. I definitely need to call my mom. I definitely will check this one out. I'm with you, Susan. Online shopping is too dangerous. I got to cut myself off. Just because I have too much stuff. Ugh, I'm sick of stuff. Maybe it's like the new year. Does everybody get like this after Christmas, especially if you got little kids? Like there's just crap everywhere. I'm like, now I'm dreaming about getting a dumpster. I'm like, no, I can't just throw everything away, but man, it would be nice. Hey, Christina. Welcome. Happy New Year. Happy Friday Eve. The pattern is so old, the guide instructions are off-colored. I love that. Oh, yeah, I do buy some stuff from Fat Quarter Shop, and I think so I don't like clowns. And now my dad and my stepmom buy me clowns or like as little gag gifts because I really don't like them. So I definitely will not be sewing a clown. But I do remember oh my gosh. Like my memory is waking up, but we also had a little jester. Like, well, I always call it a jester, but it's a clown. I wonder if it is that pattern. You make it using round circles puffed. They are so cute. Ah. I watch the videos that the channel Sew the Distance, Chris O'Neill does. She did an unboxing of like the Missouri Star uh advent box or countdown to Christmas or whatever they call it. But anyway, she had this wreath hanging in the back of her videos. And I sent her a message and I was like, what is that wreath? And so she told me that it was like a vintage sewing pattern. But she actually I think she told me, I have the worst memory as you guys know, but I'm pretty sure she told me that she like just saves them from their stores already made. But then I did go on Etsy to find a vintage wreath pattern. So I have it sitting in an envelope over here. I think I'm going to do like a month where I spend making Christmas stuff at some point this year. And I'm going to try to do one of those vintage patterns. I try to shop Fabric Shack online. Good prices and they sell quarter yards. I have never heard of that, which kind of surprises me. Oh, sugar skulls give you the creeps. Ooh, I do like skulls, so maybe just skip my last video. I don't know. See, they don't give me the creep. Clowns, though, give me the creeps. I was thinking Christmas in July, but I was like, is July too soon? Like, does Christmas in September feel more right? I don't know, but I definitely want to do a Christmas in some other month that's not Christmas. And that includes I want to make a Christmas tree skirt. I want to, what is my other list? I had a few things, but I definitely want to make a Christmas tree skirt. And then I was thinking about maybe making some Christmas ornaments for the kids' teacher gifts. Yeah, Pennywise is not my friend. Yeah, I do like sugar skulls. It's funny. You would think sugar skulls would be creepier than clowns, but no, for me, clowns are creepier than the skulls. We all have our things. I once knew a girl who was scared of butterflies. We all find things creepy. We're all just weirdos. And hi, Andy. I saw you somewhere, and then I didn't say hi. Rita says, I gave to my best friend who I call sister some antique porcelain clowns. Ooh, they are not regular clowns, but dressed like the Joker on the deck of cards. Yeah, like little jesters. I don't know. To me, I always think like jokers or jesters. That just might be like little kid Tasha who just associated jokers and jesters, but yes, that is another thing, is that Christmas bow. And now I'm ready for foundation paper piecing. And I actually already I have sweatshirts. I might actually be making a applique block sweatshirt, not the Christmas bow, like really soon. It's on my short list. But I would love, yes, Andy, I want to do that as well whenever I get around to it in July, August, whenever. Oh, I bought Chloe bought the quilt dye for the tree skirt. Um, what is special about that dye? Because right, like you're just cutting specific shaped blocks that when they go together make a Christmas tree skirt. Is that the deal? I just definitely feel like I need a quilted Christmas tree skirt in my life. So Brenda says, my daughter left her creepy porcelain dolls in the bedroom closet when she left home. She hated them. So my dad just brought over like a bunch of stuff from my childhood closet, and included in that was porcelain dolls. And so I said to him, like, I don't really like these dolls. Like, my parents really didn't let me play with them when they were a kid. They always just stayed in their package. And I don't know if they're worth anything, but I was like, I think I'm just donating them all. And I might have donated most of them. Yes, jesters, they all have different weapons. Smallest is only 2 inches tall and the largest is 6. That is so funny. It's a large wedge. Okay, that makes sense. That would be really cute. Have you made it yet? Or did you just collect the die? Or did you actually make it? I am working on English paper piecing a block. I don't know if you all saw it. It was like a month ago. I did a random quilt block video where I like used the encyclopedia of pieced quilt patterns and made a random block. Well, this is the second block, and that video is supposed to be done many times already, but I'm going to try to film it this weekend. So I'm working on right now. It's just a bunch of squares. You'll have to stay tuned to see the outside. It's going to be done this weekend. Maybe, maybe. Christina says, I too want to make a quilted Christmas tree shirt and make a wearable. I saw someone doing it this year and thought that was brilliant for sure. I made a tree skirt, basically quilt size, so it's way too big for us. That seems like that would be a Tasha problem too. The comprehension of how big something should be. And I definitely want to leave it open, like so it's easy to just like whip it around. Yeah, I don't know if you guys probably this had to be the case everywhere. I cannot imagine that Syracuse, New York was special, but when we were kids, like our parents all got us Hess trucks. Like now everybody's just got all these freaking Hess trucks we never played with, and it's like, why am I holding onto this crap? It's gotta go. Oh, Chloe did put one together, but my directional fabric went the wrong way. The worst. Rita says, I used to collect porcelain dolls. Look on the doll behind the neck to see if there's a number stamped on it. The number would tell you all about that doll. All right. I'm pretty sure I donated 1 or 2 of like the ones I was like, ugh. And then I think there's still a couple in my closet over there. I'll have to check and see if they're stamped with anything. I did recently, and Brenda, I think you may have told me this, or maybe Karen, in the Sew Squad meeting. We're in like Libs Elliott Sew Squad, where if you're doing English paper piecing, to use the darker color thread, which I would have never guessed to do. I would have always chosen the lighter, and it is really nice. I'm just going to call you X. So it looks like a very pretty name, but I know I will butcher it. Made a pattern on a paint program and didn't actually measure. So glad my friend caught on my lap quilt was going to be king size. Isn't that funny? You're just like, oh, this is fine. I can wing it. I'm capable. It won't be that crazy. And then, yeah, you've gone nuts. So how big did you end up making it? Did it end up being a throw, or did it end up being king size? Or somewhere in between? Where did you land? Wow, Rita gave her doll collection to a museum. Holy moly, 5,000 in the collection. Well, it sounds like they found a good home. That's not your home. Oh, fair enough then. We're in good company. Initials work then. Good old nickname. I like it though. It feels like a video game name. Like I play a lot of video. Well, I used to. I don't. Before children, I played a lot of video games, and I feel like this would totally be a character in one of the games I played. So Becca made a tree skirt on her live. She used the Quilt Smart marked interfacing. That is another thing I've never heard of. Man, you think you consume enough like content and advertising that you've seen every quilt product out there, but you really have not. Did you all see that Legit Kits is going to be on Shark Tank? How cool is that? Yeah, Rita, how does one come across 5,000 dolls? Oh, okay. So she caught it before I finished cutting. Awesome. So it should be lap-ish. I like making throw size quilts. The other thing on my list of things that I would love to make is and I'm sure I'm not I know for a fact I'm not the first one that has thought of this, but I haven't seen a pattern for it and I'm going to make one myself maybe. Or maybe I'll Google it. Is I now have kids that play outdoor sports, like outdoor soccer in the fall, and I would love like a little blanket that's just big enough to like have a hood and like wrap around, but like down, you know, so it's not like on the ground. Um, I'm sure that somebody sells that already, but I want to make a quilted one. Although it wouldn't be rainproof, but to be honest, I'm not going to sit out in the pouring rain anyway. It was from a game. I had a feeling. Heroes of Might and Magic. Picked it when I was 15 and I kept it when the internet started. That's yeah, I can spot them. That is very gamer-ish of a name. I'm working on my first EPP quilt. Oh, cool. And I think I picked the most complex one to start with. Susan, is there any other way? Truly? Would it be any fun if you did something simple? No, just go for it. Which pattern did you choose? Oh, okay. So Rita just started collecting at a young age and amassed a collection. That's really nice that you donated it to the museum. Do they have them on display? Do you know? So I agree, Christina. The throw size, and it's manageable for me to quilt on my own machine. Maybe someday if I were to get a long arm, and I've made a bigger one. I don't know if it's technically a queen size, but it was like 80 by 94 that I did get long armed. And my long armor is wonderful and we're friendly and I would love, I have no problem paying her to long arm. But I don't know, they're just so big and I don't know. I love a throw size quilt. I'll have 40 of them in my living room before too long. I have no doubt. Yeah, Susan, we are behind you. I'm so curious what EPP pattern you chose. I just do blocks right now of EPP. I have not done a big quilt pattern, and Brenda's doing "We Are the Storm" by Libs Elliott, which is no joke. It is the Millifori. I'm sure that's wrong. Quilts. I'll have to give that a Google. I think I have seen that though. The name and the pattern sound very familiar. It's funny. Many of us agree that throw sizes are the right size for our attention spans. So funny. Susan, how far are you on your journey of this EPP? And I really do like EPP. If you haven't given it a shot, it's fun. It's nice. I like now cut blocks out on my Cricut, and I just do little blocks, and then someday I'll do something with all the blocks and sew them together. Oh, they do have, as they were given to me from my maternal grams. Oh, wow, from Italy. And others were just collected here and there from different countries. And yes, some were creepy. Well, wouldn't be a doll collection if there wasn't some creep factor into it. It's 246 3-inch hexes, but the hexes are pieced in various designs. Oh, that sounds very similar to the one that Brenda's doing called We Are the Storm. I don't know if Brenda, what size are the hexes in that one if you're still here? I'm sure you are. Brenda likes a 96-inch square quilt in general. She doesn't like going much smaller. Susan's got 30 hexes down, 240 or no, of 246. I'm with that. How long do you think that will take you? How long did those 30 take you, Susan? Yep, I'm with you, Christina. I want to try hand quilting at some point here soon. It's one of my goals was to hand quilt something. I don't think I'm going to do a throw size. Oh, so yours are through 3-inch too. Oh, so you guys are doing very similar situation. Oh, Rita says 50 years of sewing and first attempting at EPP, making a 24-point star block. Yes, very interesting. The stars are extra tricky too, because like the little tails. Oh, she's with you. Teresa's with you on the wanting to go big or go home. With an EPP quilt, you do take the papers out. You do it after the block, after the paper is completely so if once this block has blocks all around it with paper in them, you can take this out and reuse it. So these papers can be reused, but you make sure that it has something attached to all 4 sides in this case, because it's a square, however many sides it is. Once it's fully enclosed, you've completely finished that block or that piece, that section. You can take it out and reuse it. It is a manual thing to pop the blocks out. There's a lot of debate out there in EPP land about gluing, thread basting, what makes it easier to get the papers out. I am not an expert in that, and I use glue because it's easier for me. Oh, wow, Susan. And you said you have how many done? Like 30? Yeah. I feel like you're making really good time if you started a few days before Christmas. Oh, yeah, because of the dog. I didn't put that together at first. Okay. The new the new dog is working out. Wow. Rita says, never owned a sewing machine until 5 years ago. Did all of your sewing by hand. Wow. That's so neat. Arlie says, I do hand quilting, finished 6 quilts last year. Most were 70 by 70 size. A couple were larger. I like a 70 by 70. It's like great. You're covering up really nicely on the couch and right. 70. Yeah. I think mine was 72 by 72. I did one 64 by 64 and I've decided I don't love a 64 by 64. I want it in the 70s, 72 by 72. Yes, I love English paper piecing, especially in the summer. I know that everybody who's been here last time probably heard me, but there's nothing better to me waking up in the morning on the weekend, iced coffee on the deck, English paper piecing, kids playing in the backyard. Literal heaven on earth for me. Yes, the key is don't sew through the paper. Oh, I'm also using freezer paper so I don't have to glue. Interesting. Is that foundation paper piecing or English paper piecing? No, must be. I feel like I'm getting confused, which is not uncommon. Brenda says, I glue based and I use the Tupperware orange peeler. Oh, the flat. Interesting. I like that. Christina's asking about improv. Oh, yeah. I think, is that the same class, Brenda? How funny. Yeah, I was going to say, Brenda literally was in a Maria class last weekend, too. Hand quilting is so beautiful. I love that thick, the thicker thread, and you can see the stitches. I did, and I'm, probably by now that it has to be pretty big for me to rip something out. Like it's good enough, right? I'm not a seam ripper. I don't get too particular. I did try to hand quilt something and I pulled it all out because I couldn't stand it. So it was bad. So I need to go back to it. Yep, a square quilt in the 70s. That's my vibe too, Christina. Arlie says the first quilt I ever made was completely by hand. I'll stick with machine piecing. Fair, fair. Finished 6 hand quilted ones in a year. Wow. My husband is 6'5", my son is 6'8". Damn, and my daughter's 5'9". All are quilt. Okay. And then you say, I used to be 5'5", but I think I'm shrinking. I think my husband's maybe 5'9". I don't know. I'm 5'5", so 70-inch quilts work for us. Yeah, your house, you're stuck, lady. You're making big quilts. Oh, okay. I do not know whether it's EPP or FPP or some other PP. The lingo is just not wrapped around my head yet. It's totally fine. I completed my design on the computer, printed the design on my. Yeah, so I think you're doing foundation paper piecing. You're using your sewing machine or using by hand. English paper piecing is when you use these little papers and then wrap the fabric around the individual papers. Either way, it's a paper piecing. You're having fun. That's all that matters. I can't stand hand sewing. If I tried it, I would never get finished or stay together. Yeah. Aaron says, I just wrote a twin pattern and I'm not sure I'll ever recover. Well, what size art quilts are you normally? Because I know I'm making a baby one right now, but is it a baby and a throw? So it's like twin big for you? A friend asked me, why don't you just hand quilt? And I'm like, because I just want to get this done this year. I'm still learning. So straight line curvy stitch. Thanks. I just recently got this Janome and oh God, it's already dusty. Do you guys cover your machines every time you walk away? Maybe I need to start doing that. And I found a wavy stitch on here. Love it. Just finished the last one before Christmas. Good for you. Yeah, they're a little different, but like I think freezer paper is foundation paper piecing, and that's like when you kind of flip it backwards and then sew and then trim, and then English paper piecing, you wrap the fabric around the little pieces of paper. Oh yeah, no problem. I'm, probably words are hard for me, so hopefully that made sense. Yeah, I can see not using a ruler in improv would be tough. I'm not an improv girly yet. Not yet. I like 72 by 72. Yeah, that's the size. So twin is bigger than that. Yeah, I'm not sure I would recover either. I hand piece things together, then use the sewing machine to sew the blocks together. Oh, that makes sense too. However you divide the job, you know what I mean? I just made a duster thing that I use several times a day, but I also have an air sanitizer machine, so it helps to keep dust down. Yeah, I know I'm like pointing over there because my machine came with like, the plastic thing that you can pop over it. And I didn't really ever cover my old machine and I had it for 10 years, but like I'm a little emotionally attached. I mean, I'm emotionally attached to that one. I'll never get rid of it. This one's new, so it kind of pains me to see dust on it. And this time of year too, with the furnace kicking on and stuff, I just feel like, well, I guess we have central air in the summer. I don't know. Does the winter feel dustier? Is it because you don't go outside? I don't know. Probably should do something. Keep it clean. Well, I cannot believe it's already 10 o'clock. This was crazy. It went by so fast because I feel like I haven't talked to you guys in forever. 1 week down, and then I was telling Brenda, I was like, "What if I miss a week and everybody forgets about me?" So thank you for not forgetting about me and letting me recover from my sickness and then not forgetting about me when I come back the next week. So appreciate you. Susan says, I covered my machine every day for the first few weeks. A year later, I have no idea where the cover even is. Okay, so I'm doing okay then. Summer dustier with the frames and the construction. Yeah, true, true. No construction here though. We're in the middle of nowhere. Nobody's farmers. That can make sense. I'm like knew there was some. I was like, are you framing your house, Brenda? What's going on? So anyway, it's 10 o'clock. I have to work tomorrow, boo, and I have like meetings starting pretty early that I have to have my brain ready for. Isn't that the worst? But I'm gonna try to post a little short video tomorrow. Maybe I'll have this random blog next week. I'll be live again next week. So I've got some things going on. Look for my shorts. I really appreciate you guys all come and hang out. I hope you all have a great weekend. Oh, Rita puts a cover that is folded and hung on the wall in a plastic sleeve. Good thinking. Yeah, we'll see if next week I'm using my cover or not. I gather that I probably won't be. But thanks for hanging out. Thanks for not forgetting me. And yeah, have a great weekend. Talk to you next week. Okay, bye.